consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pitch Please podcast, where your hosts are the only ones dumb enough to say it out loud. We're fired up. You're fired up. I am the co-host and bro-host of the Brothers Ventura, the eldest brother, Corey, a.k.a. War Daddy, a.k.a. Mr. Steal Your Bag, and I am here with my bro Chacho and bro-host, Mr.
Connor Baseball. Connor Ventura, don't call me Connor Gillespie.
A.k.a. the Human Rain Delay, ladies and gentlemen.
I like that a lot. Let's keep it central, brother. Let's keep it central stupid today.
Let's do it. We're going to be very good at that. We're going to do a nice stupid breakdown for you all. It comes naturally for us. I hope it doesn't hurt your ears and your brain too bad. And we're ready to get rocking.
Speaking of Connor Gillespie, dude, how about those White Sox last year? They were sharp.
A black eye on the entire MLB, I would say.
Black Sox, White Sox, oof, they were both bad. I don't know what was worse, 1919 or 2024.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
That's right. I like that a lot. I like that. You got some, or we got some White Sox in our blood, way down the bloodstream. Though we didn't get much of the talent.
No. We didn't get any of the talent, and we barely got the last name, but that's about all we got. And I should take some of that back. I do have some historic love for the White Sox growing up as a kid, watching Uncle Robin play there. That's where he started his career. I think he had some of the best days of his career there. Shout out Rob, Uncle Rob. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I do hope the White Sox improve and do not have the worst.
It's kind of a Robin Big situation there with him and Frank Thomas.
That's funny. Actually, I like that. Write that down. I'm going to put that in my notes and put it in my pocket.
That's just a little something that we bring to the table here at Pitch Please Podcast.
We do it all. By the way,
baseball nuggets.
R.I.P. Big.
R.I.P. That's right, dude. That's right. Dude, I think we get crazy this time and start with the American League.
Let's get nuts.
America first. That's what they say nowadays, right?
Yeah. We're making it great again.
That's right. That's right, brother. Dude, some fun cities here in this American League. First off, fantastic food. Chicago, the South Side, some good dogs there. Kansas City, obviously the barbecue, can't go wrong there. Cleveland, that's a city. Detroit, the Coney style hot dogs, dude. And Minnesota, whatever Minnesota has going on up there.
Deep fried Twinkies and poutine.
Deep fried Twinkies and poutine. I've heard it's a low-key Asian fusion hotspot as well.
Yeah, I got to ask Trevor Plouffe next time we talk. I know he had a majority of his career there and the Twin City. And, I haven't talked to Trev in a while, so we need to play a little catch up. And I'll get a rundown on the food fair in the city.
I love Twins, dude. You could also talk to Hank Conger as well. First base coach, shout out.
That's a good. We should talk to Hank. I should give Hank a call. We'll see what Hank's up to, and he'll give us an itinerary on the best foods in the Twin City.
Angels legend, dude. Huntington Beach High School legend.
Angels legend, Huntington Beach High School legend, Palm Desert Tigers national champion 2 times. Yeah. I mean, the guy's a legend.
The guy's a legend. Hammer and Hank. That's what they call them.
Hank. He won 2 home run derbies when I was playing with him. So, I mean, I saw it. I was witness.
I seen it. Dude, I like the AL Central. It's a division I think flies under the radar, but some tremendous young talent.
I think it's definitely flown under the radar too recently. And, the dang pesky Guardians, I think, are one of the most underrated teams in baseball over the last, dare I say, decade. Jose Ramirez, I think, he finished 5th for MVP every single year, pretty much. It's pretty impressive. The guy could do it all.
Yep. Punched Tim Anderson right in the face,
the Royals got a good team now. Listen, I think a lot of people want to do that. But I'm just kidding. I will say that the division is It has a lot of potential this year. I mean, I think I see a tighter race as well too between the Guardians, Royals, Tigers, Twins. The cliche, I think who can stay the healthiest longest is going to win the division. Speaking of that, I really do hope Bobby Witt Jr. is making a good recovery. I think we did get good news on his little spring training hit by pitch on the forearm. I don't think it's anything serious. That would have been a big blow to
I
them.
prayed on it.
Did you? Good for you, brother.
I prayed on it. Yep.
Gosh, I love that. He's my favorite shortstop
Yep.
in the league, so thank you for praying on that.
Definitely
But,
my favorite. Definitely my favorite person from the royal family, for sure too.
Agreed. Totally agreed. I think
Yeah.
it goes him and Harry, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
We'll do an episode on ranking the royal family one day too.
I would like that. We had a lot of rankings coming in here, especially during just the dog days. We might run out of material here. We're gonna be ranking all sorts of different things here.
Yeah, and not all with baseball too. It could be completely random. So buckle up.
Absolutely.
We
watch
talked
out
about
for
ranking
those,
Pokemon characters.
Yeah, dude. Watch out for those Detroit Tigers and the fighting Tim Robinsons over there, dude. I'll tell you this much.
Listen, I'm a fan of the
far-
Tigers.
So far, my fellow alumni, Spencer Torkelson, #1 overall draft pick, still working to break out. I think it's going to happen this year. I like it. Going to go make
Torque
Sun
Daddy.
Devil Nation even more proud. Okay?
Big fan of Torque Daddy.
The Torkelton.
The Torkelton.
It also sounds like a Pokemon. That's interesting.
I was just gonna go there.
Yeah. What are you going to get out of your guy, Byron Buxton, up there in Minnesota? Can he stay healthy?
Listen, I think
Every
if
night
stays
he... Yeah, every night he breaks his legs, and every morning he wakes up and breaks his arms.
Wait, was he made out of glass? Like what's that movie with oh jeez. Oh, what's that movie? He's made out of glass, Mr. Glass in the wheelchair.
Bubble Boy.
No, but good second input there. Oh god, I'll
Thank
get back to you on that one.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're killing it. What was the question again?
The question was, what are you gonna get out of Byron Buxton up there in Minnesota?
I mean, who knows? If he can stay healthy, that's half the battle. But like you said,
over under 100 games played this year for Byron.
I want to see over 100. He's an immense talent. I want to see him stay healthy and what he can do with a full season. The guy's a freak.
Sure.
Listen, and know who's really underrated on the Twins? Let me just say it right now. Matt Wallner.
Oh yeah,
The big
absolutely.
Wallner, dude.
Mm-hmm. The Walnut.
I think he has 6 home runs during spring training. I think the guy's seriously underrated.
He's a big lad.
He's a big. I think he could be the big dump truck #2 next to Cal Raleigh.
I like that, dude. I like that. Check out episode 1 if you want a great breakdown on the big dumper.
Yeah, good point. And listen, Carlos Correa is a dog. If Byron Buxton can stay healthy, Ty France, let's see what he can do.
The Frenchman, the Flying Dutchman.
The Frenchman, the Flying Frenchman.
I like that, dude. Dude, Minnesota always has those big corn-fed boys. I like that.
Yeah, it kind of goes with the city,
Yeah, absolutely. Big fan of Target Field too, dude. Shout out Target.
Shout
it's
out
a nice
Target
stadium.
Field. Yeah, it's one of the most modern stadiums. What can't you find at Target?
Yeah. Can the Twins figure out their pitching? They got that Pablo Lopez, and then it's going to drop off a little bit. We're going to see. There's no Johan Santana coming to the rescue this year. You know what I mean? It's just we're going to see.
No Johan, but let's see what Bailey Ober can put together. At the end of the day, I still got the Twins finishing in 4th in the division. So
yeah, no, for sure. I got the White Sox winning it all. White Sox will probably go 110 game. They might break the record, I think, and then they'll probably just sweep their way through the playoffs and then start it again 2026.
I like that, Cotton. That's a bold claim.
Yeah, go ahead and put that on my book it.
Book it, and we'll keep the receipts, and we'll go back to it.
Bingo. So just
Bingo.
confirm, you said that you do have the Twins finishing 4th.
Correct.
Okay, that's bold, I'd say.
Is it? Well, shall I give you my full rundown?
Yeah, so you got White Sox in first.
Yeah, that goes unspoken. I think we all are aware of that.
Yeah.
Then I got the
They're kind of like the
Twins.
AL Dodgers.
Very much so. Very similar lineups and teams, especially the pitching staff. We'll cover that in an episode as well. We'll do a comparison of how similar the White Sox and the Dodgers are, for sure. Anywho, I digress. So I got the
The
Twins at
dichotomy
80
of man.
The dichotomy, man, and the human experience. I got the Twins at 80 wins this year in 4th place. I got the this is tough for me because I like the Tigers. I'm a big screwball guy, a big Scooby Doo. You know, I'm a big screwball guy, but he can't win the whole thing by himself. I mean, he could win a Triple Crown again. I mean, I thought that was incredible what he did last year, winning the Triple Crown. I think he is a top 3 pitcher in baseball. I might draft him as my first pitcher, to be honest. Maybe there's some recency bias there with what he did last year, but
Wow.
I love his energy in the mound. He's an absolute war daddy as a pitcher for sure. Um,
That's
and
the first War Daddy claim right there. Corey's first War Daddy right
and that's
there.
bold, right? You know, because pitchers don't get very high WAR numbers typically, but his is one of the higher WAR numbers of all pitchers. And have you ever listened to the guy pitch? I know it's weird. That's a weird thing, but if you listen to him pitch, he sounds like just a Yeti on cocaine. Every
Like
time
a
he
male tennis player.
yes, or even female.
Yeah, that's how I watch all my tennis.
With the TV off and the sound up.
Yeah. I have a crowd canceling feature. It's pretty fun, dude. I love tennis.
That sounds fun.
Dude, Detroit Tigers, just maybe the greatest combination or coming together of random names ever. Like, are these real players? Colt Keith, would you say that is a baseball player or is that a country singer?
That's definitely a country singer, and I love his discography.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. Even Spencer Torkelson. Now that sounds a little Pokemon-ish.
That's a water Pokemon right there.
It is. That's a water Pokemon starter.
That is a starter. He evolves 2 phases above that. And listen, Riley Green is definitely a country singer, right? Pretty sure that's a real country singer.
That's literally real.
That's great. Riley Green, though, that guy might be the best player on their team, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I think that's the cornerstone of Detroit there, man, for maybe a century to come. And the guy can ball. He had his struggles though coming up for sure, and he certainly found his way.
Yeah, and I think sometimes having those struggles early really forms you into a better player along the way too, because you got to deal with failure and you got to be resilient, especially in baseball. I mean, you fail 70% of the time, as we know. And let's not forget, they got Javi Baez still there. Who knows what that guy can do? I mean,
he's gonna strike out for you a lot, man, but he's gonna bring the swagger level way up, and that's important.
He's gonna bring the swag, and he's gonna bring the thunder and lightning, and he's gonna bring probably about 100 Ks.
Yeah,
but can he do
about 100 Ks at least? They got Gleyber Torres.
Who knows what version of him we'll see?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because he had to shave his beard his entire career, and then he leaves, and the Yankees are like, all right, you can have beards.
That's another podcast episode for another day that we should definitely talk about. How bad will the Yankees be now that they're all hairy? We'll see. We shall see. But let's
be bad for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, I do too. I can't wait to do that division. But let's talk about Jack Flaherty. I mean, he's back in town. Jackie's back.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do.
Talking about a return on investment, dude. Just both teams. What an absolute symbiotic relationship that was.
Yes. Some reverse osmosis there. And let's not forget about Jackson Jobe. I mean,
how could you? JJ.
How could you? What a name, too. Talk about, that team. They might have the best names of any team in baseball.
If not for nothing, they definitely have the best names. I mean,
I just noticed the center fielder's name. And excuse me, I have not heard of this guy, so I got some research to do. But Wenzel?
Yeah. Dude.
I love
the throne of Wenzel's Pretzels.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you,
man.
Sir.
I think Detroit could be fun. I mean, they got AJ Hinch. Who knows what kind of hijinks he's drawing up, And
listen, I know the dugout's probably loaded with trash cans, so they're going to get some.
Here we go.
They're going to make some good contact this year, that's for sure.
Close your ears, Astros fans.
I'm just kidding. I actually really like AJ Hinch, and if you're listening out there, Chris Pearson, I do think he's your doppelganger.
There you go. AJ Hinch, big fan of the show. Big friend of the show, too.
Friend of the show, could be coming on soon. His people are supposed to be getting back to us. We'll see how that materializes as we go. But hey, and let's just talk about the Tigers jerseys real quick. I think they're a top 5, 6 historic jersey in the MLB. I'm a big fan of the Old English D. I'm a big fan of D in general. You know that, but that's another story for another day.
There we go,
defense.
Baby. I like
defense,
that a lot.
Guys. Come on, defense. Flash the leather. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a fine-looking uniform. I like it. I like the orange, border. It makes me want it more. It's not in my face about it like the Orioles and the Astros. Just enough orange.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a
Classy.
fine, sharp look. I'm also a fan.
Cool.
With the tiger
Glad we
coming out
agree
of the
there.
D, that's classic, dude.
Ferocious.
Ferocious, rare. Dude, let's move on down south there to Kansas City. What about
Yeah.
Pasquatch?
Pasquatch.
Dude,
That's a good one.
MLB Network, shout out, friend of the show. They had a nice little like day in the life of the Pasquatch, and that guy seems pretty fun, dude. Did you know during COVID he just started working at a local dog rescue facility? Like
Wow.
literally not like a sponsorship. He was just literally there taking care of dogs, like picking up poop, feeding them, and like while also staying in shape. Seems like a good
That's all I
dude.
need. That's all I needed to hear, and I changed my entire projection based on that one fact. And the Royals are winning the division because of the Pasquatch and his big heart and love for dogs. Not only am I a war daddy, but I am also a dog daddy, and so I respect that almost more than anything. Honestly, Connor, you might have just changed my heart and my mind.
That's what I do, dude. I talk my way out of tough situations there. Have you
You're
seen the
amazing.
young buck, the strapping lad coming up for the Royals, Jack Caglione?
Listen, what
Big
do they call him?
Jack.
Jack Tawny. Jack Tawny's his nickname, you know?
I kind of like Jackie Cags better, but I'll
Jackie
allow it.
Cags. I like that. I think we can even come up with a better one as the season goes on. That's a good name to really play with there.
Yeah. That young man
Yeah.
is coming to spring like a awakening grizzly.
Listen, I don't. I think it might be 1 to 2 months before he's up on the big squad. They need to get him up there.
Where's he going to play, though? They got Pasquatch at first. And they got Salvador, you know? I
Michael
just don't
Massey,
know.
we might got to kick you to the curb, Michael, and put the Pasquatch at DH and put Jack Cags at first.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, dude. Some collateral. Someone's got to go, a sacrificial lamb. But hey, you know what? Mike Massey, also a friend of the show, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, but in general, this Royals team is a good team. They're fun. They're young. In fact, I want to say something real quick. I'm a big Jonathan India fan. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I have always been. That guy is a good ball player. And talk about the hair. Look at the flow on that dude. Are you kidding me? If I woke
Dude,
up in the morning every day looking like him, I don't know what I'd do.
with Bo Bichette, you know, taking a step back in that category, I
Big
think
step
Jonathan
back.
India is up there, top 1, 2, 3, up there with Tyler Glass now from your beloved Los Angeles Dodgers. Who else, dude? Who else has just a ridiculous flow? Oh, so many. That's what it's all
So
about.
many now.
Dansby
There's a lot
Swanson
of
has a
long hair
nice.
guys.
Dansby Swanson has a nice head of cabbage. You know.
Yeah, some of these guys actually really make me think about growing out my hair that long, but it's just such a commitment, man. So many
I know
awkward
it.
stages too.
I
So
know.
I'll
A lot of
probably
awkward
pass on
stages.
that and live vicariously through Jonathan India. Big
Dude,
fan of him.
real quick on the Jonathan India, interesting trade there to acquire
Yeah,
him with a team that we will be talking about here shortly, when Brady Singer and the Cincinnati Reds.
yeah,
You know, but I think both teams give up quite a bit to get that done and fill a hole that they both respectively thought that they needed. We're gonna see
I
how that
agree.
plays out.
Me too. I'm interested in that. And I think, Bobby Witt Jr., Bobby Baseball, there's not a lot to be said there. I mean, one of the best players, if not the best player in baseball all around, the
Sure.
five-tool fool.
You
Or the
prayed on
five.
it. I mean, well, I prayed on it that he was
You did.
healthy, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And that, Connor, I think a lot of people really need to give thanks to you for that. That's
Yeah,
big.
absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
so
Dude, BWJ is so good though, man. He's just an absolute stud. Maybe
yes,
top
yes,
5, top 3 maybe player in the league right now. I mean, he's the
yeah,
future. The future.
yeah.
And they locked him up
And
long term.
he's going to be good long term for a long time for them. So I'm excited for the next 7-8 years of watching Bobby baseball. God, if I could have designed myself as a baseball player, maybe I would have designed myself as Bobby Witt Jr. To be honest.
Yeah, yep. Local Texas product. I believe Colleyville out here in the Metroplex. Shout out to DF Dub.
Shout out to the Collie.
Shout out.
And let's talk about the pitching staff. I mean, they're no joke. Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo, Michael Waka, Michael Lorenzen, and Chris Bubik. Those are all very good pitchers, man. They have a very good pitching staff.
Kind of just a bunch of dogs is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
Dare I
nobody's going to
say
blow
the
you
best?
away, I think, but they're going to go out there and give you some quality innings.
But it's kind of like, a musicians. They're like a pitcher's pitcher. Like
I like that.
they
Yeah.
they really get into the cerebral aspect of pitching, and I think that's one of their greatest skill sets. Dare I say, one of the best rotations in the NL and AL Central, in my opinion, if not the best. From starter perspective, at least.
Dangerous.
My
I like
opinion.
that. It very well could be. That's a bold claim, but I could see it, paying off, Cotton. I like that.
Listen, I watched a lot of Hey Arnold. Okay.
That's right, brother. That's right. Dude, the White Sox, I don't think they're going to be as bad this year. Let me put that out there. All right.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be as bad, but I do think they could be getting rid of Robert during this season, potentially.
Yeah, they've been working on that since they got him. I feel like we'll see. Potential suitors for him. I don't know if the Yankees are still trying to hang around. They might try to give some folks away. Maybe the
I can see
Padres.
that.
Maybe the Padres are making the push. The D-backs. Someone's gonna need a bat. I think they got to get rid of him. I don't know if his value is going up at this point. There's been some effort stuff going on with him that's been pretty clear. He was benched, last year, but I think it's hard to maintain morale on a team like that. I think eventually he's going to get dealt. I would like to see the Mariners go and make a move for him, actually.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
One guy. Never mind. Oh, we're talking about the White Sox again? Yeah, one guy I want to see have a breakout season. Miguel Vargas. Just because I'm sentimental. I like the guy. I would like to see him bounce back. He's a baseball family guy. His dad was a great player. Let's see what happens with him. But you and I both know there's not going to be a lot going on with the White Sox. I think they'll be a little bit better than last year, but not much better.
Yeah, no, I know. You've always been a lover. That's sweet of you to say about Miguel Vargas. I don't know if he's gonna be able to put it together. Some of these Dodger prospects just don't work out when they leave the farm. It feels like some guys do.
I agree.
Look at Michael
I
Bush
agree.
out there in Chicago, and we'll be talking about him here shortly.
Look at the Bushman.
It's just the Bushman, Verdugo. He's put a lot of money in his pocket, but he hasn't done much. You know what I mean? So
No, that's a good point.
we'll talk about him in episode 3, maybe actually, because he's probably not actually because he's not on a team. So.
I was going to say, I don't think Doogie found a team yet, did he?
Yeah. All
Did he?
right. So look,
Look that up.
we're looking at the Chicago White Sox. I mean, the cellar, absolute basement team, maybe of the entire division, most likely the entire division. Book that, easy money. But they're gonna be a little bit better, and they're gonna be improving. Hopefully, they make some moves, get some pieces for the future, build them for the future. I'm gonna put the. Oh man, this gets tight. Goodness.
Both these divisions, I think, are going to be tight. I have them
It's
tight.
like a Chinese finger trap over here,
Oh,
dude.
you're not going to be able to get out of it.
I know. It could come down really to one game, one pitch. Wow. Detroit surprised a lot of people last year.
They did.
They took out the Astros.
They did.
That was big.
God willing.
I
mean, who you got winning?
Guardians are so successful, man. Man, this is tough.
You got the Guardians winning the division?
I'm going to get crazy, and I think the Twins take the division.
I mean, it does sound crazy, but it's not insane. Listen, Trevor Plouffe would agree with you probably. He is very bullish on this team. I do question the bias, but I do see the potential as well, and I want to see it for the Twin City. I wouldn't be necessarily blown away if they won. I don't have them winning. I'm kind of tossing it up myself between the Guardians and Royals, and I still, in this moment right now, I still can't decide. I could go either way.
Sure. No, absolutely. Also book Byron Buxton 100-plus games played for me this season. So
I think do it.
Twins just have one of those years. They pull it off for me. And then I'm going to come in a nice second. The Royals are going to round it out by like half game over the Guardians and then put Detroit in fourth.
So you got the Guardians missing the playoffs?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
Interesting. Well, I will keep the receipts on that and we'll see where we land. So my thing, I'm settling on this. I got the Royals winning the division with 84 wins. I got the Guardians coming in a close second at 82. I got the Tigers coming in 81. Like you said, 1 game separations here. Twins at 80 and White Sox at a whopping 64 to round it out.
64 would be a huge improvement. I think they'd be thrilled with that.
Living on a prayer.
Absolutely. Man, AL Central, dude. One of those just, they don't get a lot of national coverage. It's a flyover state. It's cold, but I like these teams. I like it a lot.
I will definitely be following these divisions more this year. Not only for this podcast, but because I'm more interested. They're fun.
A lot of young talent.
Yep.
Some good country music.
Great country music. Can't pass it up. We would be, we would be. Who would we be if we didn't mention that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so just go ahead and book the Twins, taking it all. Should be pretty easy.
Book it.
And then yeah, book it. Book it.
So,
Boom.
yeah, that rounds out the AL Central. Should be a fun division. Let's move on to the NL Central, my friend.
Corey, you know NL more than anybody, brother. I do like the NL Central. Young talent, man, here in the middle of the country as well. Some interesting just dichotomies in scenarios here with Craig Counsell being the Brewers' previous manager, now being the Cubs for the last year or so, whatever. They had a down year, but they added some nice pieces, those Cubs, at the friendly confines. Brewers, man, one of the best run organizations in all of baseball. I mean, they just keep
I agree.
producing young talent, and you can't beat the cheese curds, man. And tell you what, they made some good beer as well. Pittsburgh Pirates, the fight in Olivia Dunes, brother. I mean, that is a good, solid rotation, starting rotation. But man, they're going to struggle to hit the ball. I think their only big acquisition this year was an older Andrew McCutchen. Love Kutch, friend of the show. It's
Legend.
what are we what are we going to be getting out of Kutch? You know, the city
Yeah.
loves him. It was a nice little attaboy for the fans, but you're going to need a lot more firepower to hit over there in that division if you're going to make some noise. Cardinals, the Cardinal way in the Catholic Church, dude. Also just a example of consistency, you know?
Yeah.
But down year last year, down year the year before, they kind of been coming back to the median there. Can Carlos Marmol kind of right the ship once and for all? Do they have the talent to do so? They lost Goldschmidt. You know, what are they going to do with Goldie? He went over to the Pinstripes. What are they going to do with Arenado? You know, he seems a little bit disgruntled. A lot of it disgruntled.
Does he even want to be there is the question, right? And I'm an Arenado fan. I think that guy is a dog. He plays the game the right way. But yeah, there's been some interesting things to say the least, and a lot of chatter, a lot of rumors, and all the above about him over, the offseason and into spring training, as we all know. So we'll see how that affects the clubhouse at all and the team chemistry.
Dude, and Cincinnati Reds, some great chili over there in Cincinnati, I'll tell you that much. Skyline Chili, shout out. Dude, and
a lot of great steamboats, too.
A lot of great steamboats up there in Cincinnati, man. I'll tell you what, Cincinnati's a fun town. They got Ellie De La Cruz, EDLC.
That
sounds like a rave.
It does sound like a rave. He should maybe start a rave called that. That'd be good marketing.
Yeah. Matt McClain, classic police officer name, but also a hell of a player.
Does he have a mustache?
Does he have a what?
He needs to. A mustache, because if he doesn't, he needs to really fit the role, right?
Yeah, maybe that or a nice flat top. That'd be sweet.
Maybe both. Why just stop at one? That's the look right there.
Let's check if he has a We the People tattoo. That'd be going too. I like that too. I think it's a nice look, honestly. Kind of classic.
With a Don't Tread on Me tattoo?
Yeah. Can MMC Matt McClain, dude, can he stay healthy? But kind of burst on the scene in 2023 and then got hurt in a silly little play in spring training last year. Can he stay healthy for those red legs? You know, I like the Reds a lot. That's a dangerous team, dangerously young team. Terry Francona not coming out of his health battles to go manage a crappy team. He sees a lot of potential in this team. I like the Reds a lot.
I do too, man. And I'm a big Terry Frankfurter fan. He's a legend coach. And listen, you know me, the West Coast guy. I want to see Luxy turn it on at third base. You know, you were don't lie to the people here. You were a big Luxy guy when he was coming up on the Dodgers. Fair?
Absolutely. Truther. Okay. I still love Gavin Lux. Absolutely.
And I think there's a lot more left for Gavin to show. So I'm pulling for him. I like Lux. And I think Candelarios can be a big time influence on this team and do some real damage. And Jose Trevino as well, batting ninth. I mean, who knows what version of Trevino you get? I'm also very interested in Christian Encarnacion Strand. That was a tongue teaser. He comes from a baseball family.
Jersey. Good Lord.
Yeah, well, I saw it. It goes all the way down to his hips. Looks like a Kanye West t-shirt with that, gravestone. It was amazing.
Yeah, Kanye is not a friend of the show.
Not a friend of the show. Sorry, Kanye. I digress. But anyways, back to Encarnacion. I saw that guy play a lot during spring training, and I was really impressed by his bat. very mature plate discipline and intelligence there. He's a big boy with natural pop and strength. That guy's going to be in the starting lineup very soon, in my opinion.
Bang. Book it, dude. I like that.
Book it. Pitch, please.
You didn't even talk about your guy Mason Wynn for the Cardinals, another young talent. Spells his name wrong, but that's okay.
That's because I thought we were talking about the Reds, but I can move on to the Cardinals if you like.
Yeah, no, I was going back to the Cardinals.
Okay, we're bouncing around. Big
waste.
Mason.
I kind of glossed over them a little bit. That's my fault.
All good. We're bouncing around. We're mobile, agile, hostile here, and we're nimble. We can do it all. Mason Wynn, maybe next to ELDC, the best arm at shortstop. I mean, has a straight howitzer for a right arm. Yep. Super athletic, super fast, natural pop. I think the guy has more to show. I think if he has a good season, he could be a top 5 shortstop in this league. He's so young, and he has so much potential. So we'll see what happens there. Listen, Wilson Contreras, the Contreras brothers, next to maybe the Churio brothers, are the best brother tandem in the league right now.
Wow.
I mean, who else?
That'd be a great video. That'd be a great video right there.
That'll be another podcast episode for another day. And then you and I love the Newt, the human Newt, Lars Nootbaar. You know,
yep. That's right. Right up there with Shohei and everybody as Japanese superstars, brother.
That's right. And the USC Trojan legend. I mean, we cannot forget that. Fight on.
Go ahead and sing it.
That's all you get.
Bang.
And what else we got here? Nolan Gorman. I think that guy could really light some things up as well, too.
I think that's a city in Nevada as well.
It is. Yes, it is. Bishop Gorman, great football, baseball.
Home of the Fighting Bryce Harpers and Joey Gallows, I believe.
The Fighting Gallows.
The Fighting Gallows. Dude, I can't wait to do a breakdown on Joey Gallows. My guy.
Isn't he a pitcher now?
He's going to be a pitcher now, dude. Going to be a pitcher.
Wow.
The White Sox, I believe, I think, said your talents are no longer needed here. When that happens, it's time to go and switch positions, I think.
How old is Joey? Isn't he up there?
No, I don't think so, bro. He's probably in between our ages, so we'll let the people guess.
Cliffhanger. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then, of course, we love Nolan Arenado as a talent, an amazing third baseman, maybe one of the best fielding third basemen the game has ever seen, top 5 at least, maybe. I'm going to go out on a limb. But we both know that it seems like he is not as happy or as content as he could be over there in Kansas City. All is not well, maybe. There's been a lot of rumors and trade speculations to the West Coast and stuff like that. So we'll see how that affects the clubhouse and the chemistry, etc. But you do know with Nolan, he's a gamer. If he's on the field, he's going to be giving it everything.
Yeah, absolutely. He straight up said just no thank you to the Houston Astros. They offered him a nice contract. He said, I don't think so. I think I'm going to hold out for some sort of West Coast team, and I don't think that offer ever came. So what's going to happen with Arenado? I think we'll see.
And I respect Nolan for that because it shows a man of high character. He wants to do things the right way and earn it, Yeah,
absolutely. That's a very unbiased take, and I appreciate that.
That's all I give.
Yeah. Who do you think is the best red-colored team in this division, Corey?
Do the Cubs count? They got a little red.
Sure, yeah.
I will go with the Cubs then. If we're stacking up the 3 teams with a little bit of red. But if you want an answer that I think you're looking for, it would be between the Reds and the Cards. I think because you're going Reds, I'll go Cards.
Perfect.
Boom.
That gives us nothing to talk about. Perfect.
Damn it. All right. At least it gives us receipts. Let's argue our points then.
There we go. I like it. Dude, give me the Reds. First off.
Why?
Here's the thing about the Reds, Corey. Dogs. Like I said, Terry Frankfurter is not coming out of retirement to coach a JV baseball team. He's coming out to coach a team that is stockpiled with young talent. I think it's going to be a very fun summer out there at the GABC. Very underrated stadium, by the way. I like the Reds a lot. They got Brady Singer from the Jonathan India trade from the Kansas City Royals. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Shout out.
That's really bolstering that starting rotation. I like Brady Singer a lot. Their bullpen can their bullpen hold up? That's my question. we're going to see maybe they make some moves and there are going to be some buyers here at the trade deadline to pick up some arms for the bullpen and maybe a closer to shut the door in a division that could be really, really tight. Really depends, man, if what kind of year you're going to get from ELDC, all that good stuff. Is he going to
Yep.
be that next face of the league, or is he just going to be a very, very good player? Nothing wrong being a very, very good player, but will he take that next step? Matt
Yeah.
McClain got to stay healthy. You know, he burst on the scene a couple years ago. Can he give you a good 2025? Those are two young guns there, man. If those guys are both producing, I think the sky is the limit for the Reds. I like this team a lot. I don't even think it's a close comparison to the Cardinals, but I will defer the floor to you.
You know, what a masterful argument that was, first and foremost. If we were in the court of law, I might just totally abandon my case. I'm actually still considering it, to be honest. Now I'm looking at the lineups. But since I dug my heels in, I got to come up with something. I'm just going to say that I really believe in Mason Wynn, Contreras, Nootbaar, Arenado, and Gorman. And also Ivan Herrera being a very good defensive catcher. I think it's really going to help their maybe waning pitching staff a little bit, hold more runners on base and not steal so many bags, which is big in the game now. You know, putting pressure on the base path on pitching staffs is causing a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Chaos
Pressure.
for the defensive pressure.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm interested to see how Herrera does. I do not think the rotations line up that well. The Reds, I believe, have a better rotation. And to finish my argument, I'm just going to say I chose the Cardinals just to be a contrarian, so we had something to talk about. I don't know if I
Love it.
necessarily believe it as much as I would like to.
Oh, well, hey, man, I I like the passion. I like that you stuck to your guns, and I can really tell that you love the Cardinals a lot, so that's good.
I actually don't, but they are a historic team, but I don't love them.
Dude, shout out David Freese.
Legend.
Pittsburgh Pirates, I got them in the bottom of the division.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the barrel. Like we always say, we love Pittsburgh as a sports town. The black and gold themes that stay constant's amazing. How you can see the bridge from the stadium, gorgeous. But they're never going to be anything great because the owner's just a cheap ass, and he doesn't want to invest in the team. Until he does, they will always be stuck towards the bottom of the barrel. And Paul Skeens can't pitch you to a World Series if you got no one putting runs on the board.
Yeah, it's almost a Garrett Cole situation all over again, it seems like. You know, it's just.
I would hate for it to be, but sadly looks like it kind of.
I wonder if he gets a second contract over there in Pity. You know, I think he might.
Know.
I'd like to see it for sure. Does he win Cy Young this year?
I think that he does if he stays healthy. I will say that I have Paul Skeens winning the Cy Young.
Book it.
Book it.
Would you put Paul Skeens in a War Daddy category?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
Wouldn't you?
Easy. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's not my
agree there.
category to put him in. You know, you are
That's
the
true.
War Daddy.
I am the specialist there, and he made top of the list, so yes, he's in there.
Absolutely. So Pirates in the bottom. I got the Cardinals next, and then it gets interesting. Reds, Brewers, Cubs. Let's go blue. Big blue, a lot of blue, and then the Reds.
Yeah.
We barely talked about the Cubs, man.
Let's talk about them. I think there's a lot to talk about there because you and I both have them winning the division by a hair, but I would not be surprised, as I said, about the Brewers sneaking it out, though, too. The Brewers always put a good product on the field every single year over the last decade or so. They just get stuff done. So I'm never going to count them out, but let's talk about the Cubs a little bit. Listen, big pickup of Kyle Tucker. I mean, what, top 10 offensive bat in the left-handed bat for sure in the league.
King Tuck.
King Tuck. I like that. Seiya Suzuki, Michael Busch. I think Michael Busch is one of the good Dodgers prospects, actually, that we were talking about. I'm interested to see what he looks like. A lot of people are talking about this Matt Shaw guy, this rookie. And I told you I've only seen one game, and that was a game today against the Dodgers. One of the strangest batting stances I've ever seen in my life.
Really? Right
Yes.
there with his manager, Craig Counsell, huh?
Not that extreme, but just like his approach, it seems like such a difficult way to get good timing, in my opinion. He puts his stride down very late. He does this like straight up stance, and he like kind of shifts and leans into his stride. And it just seems like he always gets his foot down late. But obviously, a lot of people are talking about this guy. He's made waves. He's made it to the big club. Everyone's talking about him. So, of course, Corey's probably wrong. We'll see if he becomes a war daddy. But I'm interested to see how that swing plays in the MLB for a full season. I think Miguel Amaya, a younger guy too at catcher, has a lot of potential and promise as well. And I think, Dansby Swanson flashes the leather almost better than any other shortstop. And I
Great
think
flow.
you and I, great flow. And I think you and I both love PCA.
White Lightning, brother.
The Crow Daddy.
The Snow Leopard.
The Snow Leopard. That's right. I like that one.
For the hair and for just how rare of a player he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Almost
and
like a Billy
opaque.
Hamilton type. Shout out to the Reds.
Yes. And just how opaque he is. And it all fits. The Snow Leopard.
Dude, PCA is what everything that's right about baseball. I'm gonna say
I think
that
so
right
too.
now.
I like him
That's
a lot.
how I
like
was
his
taught to play the
personality.
game at a much less good level.
It almost looks like he's playing Major League Baseball, but playing it in, pony ball.
Yeah. Or
Just-
Slugfest on the GameCube.
Yeah. He's not looking at any stop signs, that's for sure.
No, absolutely. The dude can fly. He can almost hit an inside the park home run if he hits it to second base. You know what I mean?
Pete may be red-green colorblind. Like, he might not see red. He only sees green at all times.
Dude, Pete is a great baseball name. I'll tell you that much.
Pete's
There's some
a solid
great
name.
baseball players named Pete. Pete Rose. Pete Alonso, bro. Peter Borges. Shout out to the Angels.
Peter Borges. You're going. You're flowing. Keep going.
Peter Pan.
Boom. Petey Pablo, North Carolina legend.
There you go. Exactly, dude. PCA. Dude, it is a fun lineup for the Cubs, dude. I think it's going to be a fun summer. And tell you what, dude, a lot of teams do not want to be going to Wrigley Field in October to play these Cubs. That is a tough environment, weather-wise.
Yep.
Swirling winds, don't know where the ball's going. Moises Alou, Steve Bartman, dude. You just don't want to be... Weird things happen in Wrigley, especially
Henry
since they broke the
Rosengartner.
Henry Rosengartner, dude. You don't know who's coming out of that pin.
Who wants to see him closing the game? I don't. I want no... He's hitting like 105.
Dude, I don't want to see that. He's coming off Tommy John. We'll see if he's coming back this year or not. But
they say that tendon's tighter than it's ever been before. We saw in that movie when he broke that doctor's nose and he screamed "funky butt love" and the power that was in that shoulder. So I'm scared.
Absolutely, dude. Quite the player, that Henry Rosengartner.
He's still young. He's still young too, if you think about it. He was only 13 when he got his first start.
They signed him out of the Dominican Republic, right?
Haiti, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, Cubbies, such a good team. Brewers, man, Brewers lost a lot of talent, but it's an organization, and they just keep replenishing that. You already mentioned the human Mexican dessert and Jackson Churio, and he's an animal. But dude,
So
then they lost
tasty.
Willie Adames to a team in the NL as well.
Willie
And
Dance, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, Christian
But
Yelich, dude.
They have the other they got the other Contreras brother, and they got Yelly.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Yelly, dude. The Pete Davidson of MLB. You know what I mean?
Pete Davidson.
I'd like to see him win NL Comeback Player of the Year.
One guy that I kind of
He's already been
noticed,
coming back, so maybe he can't win that. Sorry, go ahead.
the comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
We'll create a new award. One guy that kind of piqued my interest when I caught a couple of their games during spring training is that guy Vinny Capra. Little minivan of a player, kind of built like me, like 5'8", stocky, but the guy's got some juice. He can pick it, and he's got some pop in his bat. They have him listed right now as a dual third baseman with Caleb Durbin. We'll see if he wins, the position, but I was impressed by him during spring training, so we'll see what materializes there. Pitching staff, Jose Quintana, Tyler Alexander, Nestor Cortez.
Oh, big Nesty. Still thinks he should have won the World Series over your Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say he's smart, but he's a good pitcher.
That is the same Nestor Cortez, right?
It's the same guy.
One and only, right?
One and only, yeah. Bold claims there, but...
Rhys Hoskins, kind of the bad boy of the MLB.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's one of them, dude.
I can
Remember one time he was mouthing off to the Phillies and all that good stuff, and then they got in the fight last year?
That's true. I like bad boys. It makes baseball fun. Like, that's why I like playing the Padres. I mean, they got a lot of bad boys on that team.
Like a Bryce Harper type, you know?
Oh, yeah. He's a naughty boy. But anyways,
But Reese is coming
I-
off. Reese is coming off a pretty nasty knee injury, so we're going to see what he's like
Yeah.
as a player. Maybe he'll be comeback player of the year.
Yeah. With this lineup, I that's why I have the Cubs winning the division. I think you said you had the Reds coming in second or winning the division.
No, I am also maybe. I'm going to save it, actually. I'll tell you who I'm going with.
Okay.
I have the Brewers taking a step back. I got them at third place.
Mm,
I got the Reds at number 2, and I also have the Cubs winning the division. And the
Okay.
Cubs are back, baby. I think they had a down year last year, but I think they really reloaded in a very, very nice way. I think it's a very solid team all around.
Yeah, I think the Cubs are kind of back to. I have them winning the division at 84 wins, though I do have the Brewers coming in second still, and the Reds coming in third. No love for the Cards, sorry, nor the Pirates.
Well, a little love for the Cards. They
Well,
were
yeah, I
your
didn't mean to
favorite
say it like that. Yeah,
There
they
you
were
go.
my favorite red. Well, actually, I said the Cubs were, remember?
Oh, yeah.
But
Well, hey, favorite bird team for sure.
favorite bird team. Boom.
That's right. Yeah, dude. NL Central, man.
I'm interested to know.
NL is so strong.
I would love to see, if anyone watches the show, what their projections are. Leave them in the comments if you haven't already. Like, comment, subscribe. But we would love to entertain what other people think might be the finishing order of these divisions.
Absolutely, man. Book it for the Cubs and book it for the. Who did I say for AL Central?
Guardians. You might have said the Royals.
Nope, I did not.
Royals. You said Royals.
No, I didn't.
Twins. You said the Twins.
Twins.
That's right. You said the. I had to go really down on my list personally. Sorry about that. Yeah, Twins. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a bold one, but I like it.
It is
I like
a bold one. It is a bold one for sure, but I like it as well.
You and Trevor Plouffe, man. So
That's why they call
Connor,
it Keep It Central, stupid.
and we are stupid, so we nailed it. I think we did a great job. What's on the docket for the next podcast? I think it's going to be the AL and NL East. Is that correct?
That's right. We're going to wrap up this series, episode 3 of season 1, The Beasts of the East.
I'm excited about those divisions. I have a lot to talk about there, so stay tuned. I think you do too. I think those are going to be very exciting divisions. And I think one of those teams in those divisions might win the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to hear what the fans think in the comments. Throw us a projection. Argue with me. Come at me.
Yeah, yeah.
Really attack my character.
Please don't do that to me, but you can do that to him. That would be great. I'm a
Yeah.
little bit more sensitive than he is, but we would love, some hard, hot opinions and takes in the comments, something for us to talk on and touch on. Ooh, that sounded naughty. Anyways, you know what I mean. But yeah, let's interact a little bit, baby.
Yeah, some
We're talking ball.
HSO, man. Some hot sports
HSOs.
opinions.
We're here to talk ball, and so are you. Let's do it.
Absolutely. We'll finish it up with the Beasts of the East, brother. A lot to talk about there.
Looking forward to it. We're signing off. Another great episode, brother. Till next time.
Peace.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.